The gymnasium stretched 300 meters in every direction, its crystalline walls refracting the pale light of Kepler 442b's distant sun. Lisa Martinez wiped sweat from her forehead, adjusting the translation implant behind her ear as their instructor, a being that resembled a floating jellyfish with bioluminescent tendrils, pulsed an anxious shade of violet. "You understand," Instructor Velthos transmitted, its voice a melodic hum in their minds, "that this course was designed for species with established spacefaring capabilities. Your planet, Earth, has only just achieved preliminary FTL travel." Alex Chen grinned, bouncing on the balls of his feet. "We'll manage." The other students, a collection of beings from across the galactic concordance, kept their distance. There were the Krell, silicon-based lifeforms who communicated through harmonic resonance, the Aurelians, gossamer-winged creatures from a low-gravity moon, a pair of Xanthari, methane breathers in atmosphere suits, their 4 eyes fixed on the humans with what the translation software rendered as morbid curiosity. Lisa had learned quickly that Earth was classified as a Class 12 death world. Intense gravity, volatile weather systems, aggressive microbial life, predators at every level of the food chain. When she and Alex had arrived at the Concordance Academy as part of humanity's first exchange program, they discovered that most sentient species evolved on far gentler worlds. "The gauntlet of gravitational adaptation," Velthos announced, tendrils gesturing toward an obstacle course that looked like it had been designed by an engineer with a cruel sense of humor, "consists of 7 zones, each calibrated to test your species' physiological limits. Zone 1 operates at 0.3 G. Zone 7 reaches 2.1 G. One of the Aurelians made a sound like wind through crystal chimes. "Distress. That final zone exceeds our survivable threshold." "Hence," Velthos pulsed, "this remains a voluntary exercise. The Concordance record is reaching Zone 4. Lisa exchanged a glance with Alex. Earth's gravity was 1 G. They'd spent the last 2 months feeling featherlight on this campus world, calibrated to the Concordance standard of 0.7 G. "We'd like to try," Lisa said. The gymnasium fell silent, even Velthos dimmed to a confused gray. "You, both." "Sure," Alex said, rolling his shoulders. "Sounds fun." Zone 1 was laughable. At 0.3 G, Lisa practically floated through the suspended platforms and rotating cylinders. Alex performed what he called parkour, launching himself between obstacles with movements that made the spectating aliens ripple with alarm. The Krell's harmonic frequencies shifted into what the translator called second-hand anxiety. Zone 2, 0.6 G, felt like a casual jog. Lisa navigated the balance beams and climbing walls while Alex swung through the aerial course, his movements economical and practiced. He'd mentioned rock climbing back on Earth. She'd been a competitive gymnast before joining the exchange program. "This is normal for you," one of the Xanthari asked through its translator, voice synthesized and crackling. "This is light," Lisa said, not unkindly. "Back home, we train in 1 full G." Zone 3 introduced 0.9 G, close enough to Earth standard that Lisa felt her muscles finally engaging properly. The course included resistance bands, weighted carries, and a wall that reconfigured itself every 30 seconds. She attacked it methodically, her engineering background helping her predict the pattern shifts. Alex treated it like a playground, his lean frame moving with efficient grace. He'd grown up in Hong Kong, he'd told her during their long FTL journey to the academy. Dense urban environment, lots of climbing, jumping, squeezing through tight spaces. "You adapt," he'd said, "or you take the long way around." They cleared Zone 3 in 12 minutes. The previous record, held by a species called the Morthans, gravity worlders from a 1.1 G planet, had been 47 minutes. Velthos pulsed bright yellow. Excitement. "Remarkable. Your species' muscular density and skeletal structure must be." "Can we continue?" Lisa interrupted, breathing slightly heavier now. Zone 4 beckoned at 1.2 G, heavier than home but not impossibly so. The course designers had built this zone around endurance, long-distance carries, sustained climbing, a treadmill that angled upward while the gravity intensified in pulses. Lisa felt the weight pressing down on her shoulders, her legs burning with familiar fire. This was like training back at the academy in Colorado at altitude with a loaded pack. Alex moved more carefully here, his efficiency becoming deliberation. But he moved, one foot in front of the other, one handhold then the next. The human body, Lisa had learned in xenobiology class, was over-engineered for survival, redundant systems, excessive healing factors, a skeletal structure that could support 3 times its own weight. They emerged from Zone 4 to find the entire gymnasium watching. Word had spread. Students from other classes hovered at the entrance. Even some of the faculty, massive creatures, tiny flitters, everything in between, had arrived to witness the Deathworlders. Zone 5, Velthos transmitted, colors flickering between orange and green, uncertainty and awe. This operates at 1.5 G. No species has ever. We understand, Alex said, breathing hard but grinning. Shall we? The course was brutal. Every movement felt like pushing through water. Lisa's vision narrowed to the next obstacle, then the next. Pull-up bars that felt like they weighed tons. A cargo net that seemed to drag her down. Her heart hammered in her chest, that magnificent organ pumping oxygen-rich blood to screaming muscles. She thought about evolution, how Earth's crushing gravity had forced life to become strong or die, how humanity's ancestors had climbed trees to escape predators, then climbed down to chase prey across savannas. Endurance hunters, pursuit predators, the species that could run anything to exhaustion. Alex finished ahead of her, collapsing against a wall, chest heaving. Lisa joined him 3 minutes later. They'd completed Zone 5, the impossible zone. Your cardiovascular systems, a Krell professor was transmitting to colleagues, harmonic frequencies anxious and amazed, must operate at extraordinary efficiency, and the bone density required to prevent fracture under such stress. Do you wish to continue? Velthos asked, tendrils very still. Zone 6 loomed ahead. 1.8 G, then Zone 7 at 2.1 G, more than double Earth's gravity. Lisa looked at Alex. His dark eyes met hers and she saw the same calculation. They were tired, truly tired. Zone 6 would hurt. Zone 7 might cause injury, compression fractures, muscle tears, cardiac stress. But they were human, and humans had walked on Earth's surface for millions of years, fighting every step of the way. We continue, Lisa said. Zone 6 was agony. Every movement required total commitment. Lisa's gymnastic training helped. She knew how to move efficiently, how to distribute force. Alex's urban adaptability gave him creative solutions, finding easier paths through impossible geometry. They moved like wounded soldiers, supporting each other. When Lisa's legs threatened to give out on the final climb, Alex positioned himself below her, hands ready to catch. When Alex's arms shook on a suspended traverse, Lisa talked him through it, her voice steady despite the crushing pressure. 28 minutes later, they crossed into Zone 7. 2.1 G felt like death. Lisa's knees buckled immediately. She caught herself, hands on the floor, and forced herself upright. Beside her, Alex had gone pale, sweat pouring down his face. The course was simple here. Just a straight path, 100 meters long. We don't have to, Alex gasped. Yes, Lisa said, we do. Because the entire concordance was watching. Because Earth was the new kid, the death world, the planet of terrifying creatures. Because every step they took would redefine what the galaxy thought possible. 1 meter, 2, 5, 10. Lisa's vision grayed at the edges. Her translator implant fed her the crowd's reactions: shock, disbelief, fear, admiration. Somewhere, a Zenthari was comparing their effort to watching a star collapse in real time. 50 meters. Alex stumbled. Lisa caught his arm and they leaned on each other, two Deathworlders refusing to quit. 70 meters. Lisa's heart felt like it might explode. Her lungs burned, every muscle fiber screamed. But humans had evolved to suffer, to push past pain, to survive. 90 meters. Almost there, she whispered. 95. 100. They collapsed across the finish line together, and the gymnasium erupted in a cacophony of alien sounds, harmonic resonance, bioluminescent flashing, synthesized cheers and whistles in frequencies beyond human hearing. Velthos floated down to them, pulsing a brilliant, odd gold. You have redefined the limits of this course. Your species is tired, Alex croaked, grinning up at the instructor. Very, very tired. Later, in the medical bay, where the doctors confirmed nothing more than exhaustion, dehydration, and minor muscle strain, Lisa overheard two faculty members talking. Deathworlders, one transmitted. Can you imagine what they'll be like once they truly join the Concordance? I fear, the other replied, and I admire. Lisa smiled, closed her eyes, and slept the sleep of someone who just reminded the galaxy what humans could do.